The library was quieter than usual that afternoon, the soft rustle of pages and the occasional whisper of students creating a calm cocoon around wine. She had tucked herself into a corner by the tall window, sunlight spilling across her notebook, but her attention was elsewhere. Jungkook, he wasn't actively seeking attention, at least not in a way that made him seem vain, but the way he carried himself made it impossible to ignore him. Leaning casually against the bookshelf, his dark hair falling slightly over his forehead, he smiled at a classmate's joke, the sound of his laughter echoing lightly in the stillness. Wine's fingers tightened around her pen as she scribbled notes, secretly stealing glances at him. Why does he look so effortless, and why does every laugh, every little movement of his feel like it's meant to make the world stop for a moment? Her chest fluttered, though she refused to acknowledge it aloud. Focus, wine, he's Jungkook, and I'm just me, lost in her thoughts. She didn't notice that the group he was with had moved closer, shuffling books and exchanging whispers. Jungkook's gaze briefly swept across the library, and for a moment it felt as if his eyes had landed on her. She froze, heart hammering, and quickly looked down at her notebook, pretending to be absorbed in her work. One of his friends nudged him playfully. Hey Jungkook, you're spacing out again. Who's caught your attention this time? Jungkook smirked, brushing it off lightly. No one. Though he said it casually, there was that subtle warmth in his voice that made it sound like he might have been lying. He's definitely looking at me, isn't he? No, stop. Don't read too much into it. She sighed softly, tucking a loose strand of hair behind her ear. Being near him was a mixture of excitement and agony. Excitement because, well, it was Jungkook, the kind of boy every girl in college secretly admired. Agni, because she knew she didn't belong in his work, the kind of girl he would glance at, smile at maybe, but never think of beyond polite recognition. As if sensing her eyes to glance toward her direction again, this time he smiled faintly, a small curve of his lips gentle and unassuming, and returned to his books. Why does he have to be so real, not like the other guys, not like anyone I have ever known? A soft whisper of a voice broke her rewire. Wine, she sat, voice dripping with mock sweetness, tossing her hair back as she leaned casually against Wine's table, still staring at the college wardrobe. I see. Don't think he notices, sweetheart. Wine's fingers paused over her pen, her jaw tightening slightly. Of course, she noticed. Mina always had a knack for seeing the things you tried to hide. Wine looked up calmly, keeping her voice measured but with a quiet edge. He notices a lot of things, Mina, just maybe not the things you think. Mina smirked, clearly amused. Oh, watch out, everyone. Wine's got a little backbone. But let's be real, Chunga couldn't even glance your way if it were not for a polite hello. One felt the burn of humiliation, but instead of shrinking, she straightened her gaze firm. Maybe, but I would rather not waste my time being impressed by someone who judges people by what they own rather than who they are. Mina paused, surprised at Wine's boldness, and Chungkook, now looking over from his group again, tilted his head slightly. There was curiosity in his gaze, a flicker that made Wine's heart twist in ways he didn't expect. So he did notice me, and somehow it doesn't feel as terrifying as I thought it would. The bell rang, signaling the end of the study period. Wine gathered her things, her mind a storm of conflicting emotions. Excited and anxious, embarrassed and undeniably drawn to the boy she had been secretly admiring from afar. As she walked past him, Jungkook's voice called softly, "See you tomorrow, Wine." She froze, then managed a small, polite note. "Yeah, see you." It was a simple exchange, but in that brief moment, something unspoken passed between them, an acknowledgement and even fragile of a connection neither of them fully understood yet. And just like that, her secret crush had become something more complicated, more assuming something that would shape the days ahead. The afternoon sun cast long shadows across the college courtyard, students bustling between classes, laughter and chatter filling the air. Wine had finally gathered the courage to approach Jungkook, her heart hammering in her chest. Jungkook, I like you. The words felt foreign as they left your lips. Trembling slightly but clear, for a brief second the words seemed to pause. Jungkook's eyes widened, a flicker of surprise crossing his usually calm face. Wine, I Before he could finish, a sharp, mocking voice cut through the air. "Oh, how cute, daydreaming about Jungkook, are we? Maybe he will notice you when pigs fly, considering your simple little life." Time seemed to slow, Wine's chest tightened, heat rising to her cheeks. The laughter that followed from a few nearby students made her stomach churn. Jungkook's eyes darkened as he stepped forward, his voice low but firm. "Mina, that's enough. Stop humiliating her." "Oh, please, Jungkook, don't act like you care. She's clearly not your type." Something snapped inside Wine. She felt the sting of humiliation, the unfairness of it, and the overwhelming urge to defend herself, no, to stand her ground. Without thinking, she stepped forward and slapped Mina. The sound sharp and echoing slightly. "Enough, I'm not the person you think I am. At least I'm not insecure enough to make fun of others to feel important." A stunned silence fell. Mina touched her cheek, her eyes wide with shock and anger. Jungkook's jaw tightened, his usual calm shaken, but he stayed silent, his gaze fixed on Wine with a mix of surprise and something else concern. Maybe admiration. She's not afraid, and yet why is she pushing me away? Wine felt her own heartbeat echoing in her ears. She wanted to explain herself, to tell him it wasn't about him, it was about protecting her own dignity, but the words caught in her throat. Instead, she turned and walked away, her steps deliberate, her chest aching with the mix of embarrassment, anger, and heartbreak. After that day, Wine made a decision she would not allow herself to be humiliated or defined by Mina's cruelty. She avoided Chogo, ignoring his glances in class, skipping group activities where he would be, even taking different routes around campus to avoid accidental encounters. I still like him more than I care to admit, but I can't let this heart define me. I have to be stronger than that. At night, she often found herself on the college rooftop, gazing at the city skyline, her thoughts a mix of longing and determination. Why do I feel like I'm losing him by standing up for myself? No, this is me choosing self respect. If he can't see past me as insults, maybe he's not worth the pain. Sometimes she imagined what it would be like if he understood, if he truly knew her. That thought brought a pang to her chest, but also a strange sense of comfort. She would focus on herself now, her studies, her dreams, her passions, and let her world shine on its own. Yet deep down, she couldn't deny the ache that came with every glimpse of him from afar, the pull of something she refused to give and to, even as her heart betrayed her. I will protect myself first, but one day maybe he will see me, truly see me. And so a quiet war waked inside her, the part that still loved him and the part that refused to let humiliation or Mina's cruelty define her. The college auditorium burst with excitement, caps in hand, and families cheering. Wine walked across the stage, her posture straight, her eyes forward, and a small polite smile on her lips. She didn't glance at the crowd, didn't even look for familiar faces, especially not Jungkook's. Jungkook had arrived late, holding back a storm of emotions since that infamous day in the courtyard. He had broken off his friendship with Mina. Finally, realizing the depth of her cruelty, he had wanted to find Wine to apologize, to explain, but she had left hurriedly that day. Now, as she accepted her diploma, she felt the pang of regret. She's grown into someone incredible, and I didn't even get to say I'm sorry. After the ceremony, students milled around, taking pictures and celebrating. Jungkook hesitated by the exit, debating whether to approach her. Why never composed passed by without even glance. No, not today, not after everything. He swallowed hard, the apology stuck in his throat. She had moved on, and he had no right to pull her back. Months passed, Wine poured her energy into something that had always been her passion, helping others, motivating people, and sharing her story. She started a YouTube channel creating self love and empowerment videos, sharing tips with a sharp wit and unapologetic confidence. Listen, if anyone ever told you that you're not enough, laugh at them. You're not here to fit anyone else's standard. You're here to shine unapologetically. Money, background, or stupid gossip, those things don't define you. You do, so stand tall, look in the mirror, and remind yourself I am unstoppable. Her energy was magnetic. Her audience grew rapidly, drawn to her honesty and bold, batty energy, the kind of confidence that made people envy her but also inspired them. Her subscriber count skyrocketed and her name became known in the community for self empowerment content. One evening, Chungkook was sitting on his bed, mindlessly scrolling through YouTube when something caught his eye, a familiar face in the thumbnail. Wine, without hesitation, he clicked. The video loaded, and there she was, confident, radiant, addressing the camera directly, her eyes sharp but inviting. Stop waiting for someone else to validate your worth. Stop giving your energy to people who think less of you. You are the CEO of your life. Dress like it, act like it, and most importantly, believe it. Her words were powerful, delivered with that fearless, unapologetic edge. Jungkook's gaze softened, a mixture of awe, regret, and admiration crossing his features. And for those you who feel hurt because someone didn't see you value, good. Let them watch you rise while you're still stuck in the same old nonsense. Build yourself, glow on it, be a baddie, not because they can't see you, but because you finally see you. Jungkook leaned back, stunned. Her voice, her confidence, her entire presence on screen, it was everything. He remembered, but amplified tenfold. She was no longer the shy girl who had been humiliated. She had transformed, commanding attention effortlessly. She's unstoppable. She's everything and more than I ever imagined. His fingers hovered over the screen as the video ended, and he couldn't stop thinking about her. Her words, her fire, her growth, it was mesmerizing. And in that moment, Jungkook realized something. The girl he had once misunderstood was no longer just a secret crush. She was a force he hadn't anticipated, a woman he had underestimated, and now she had completely captivated him in a new way. The city skyline blazed beneath the setting sun, painting everything in gold and amber. Wine launched on her balcony, legs crossed, black leather jacket draped over her shoulders, her shades catching the dim light, the soft hum of the city mixed with the bass from her speakers. Her latest track setting the tone for the evening. Her phone buzzed a new notification. She arched an eyebrow, smirk curling across the lips. I just watched your video. Wow, you are incredible. You chuckled softly, the kind of laugh that made people pause and take notice, even though the phone. She tapped back, letting every word drip with confidence. Finally catching up, huh? Took you long enough. A pause, another message. Fine, I have been a fool. I didn't say I want to make it right. She leaned back in her chair, one hand running through her hair, letting the city lights play across her face, her smile wide and playfully yet untouchable. Look, Jungkook, I'm busy being me, influencing thousands, breaking limits, setting trends. I'm not here for apologies or late confessions. If you can handle me on my terms, then maybe we talk. Until then, watch and learn. He didn't reply immediately. One smile, closing her laptop and letting the quiet thrill of her own power wash over her. She had grown into a force of nature, bold, magnetic, untouchable. Her self love videos were not just inspirational, they were iconic. Every subscriber, every comment, every message reminded her of the woman she had become, fierce, unapologetic, untamed. Later that night, Jungkook found himself scrolling through her channel again, captivated by her energy. Her latest upload began. Stop shrinking for people who never saw your worth. Stop waiting for validation from anyone. You are not here to please the world, you are here to conquer it. Dress like you own the room, talk like they should listen, and walk like they already admire you. Bad energy isn't given its claim, and honey, claim it every single day. Her eyes flashed into the camera, sharp, fearless, untouchable. Jungkook felt a jolt. This wasn't the shy, sweet girl from college anymore. This was someone entirely on her own level, someone he could admire, fear, and want all at the same time. And for anyone who doubted you, laughed at your dreams, tried to put you down, good, let them watch while you rise, unstoppable. Let them see what they lost, let them regret underestimating you. Jungkook sat back, stunned, every word, every glare into the camera, every confident smile. It was intoxicating. She had transformed into a queen, a baddie, a legend, and yet somehow the memory of her kindness and courage lingered, softening the edges of his regret. One leaned back, arms crossed, one eyebrow raised, whispering to herself as the city glittered beneath her. I'm untouchable, unapologetic, unstoppable, and anyone who forgot that, let them remember. And somewhere in the quiet of his room, Jungkook realized something he hadn't dared admit in years. She was everything. The girl he thought he knew, the crush he had underestimated, now was a baddie beyond his reach, and he couldn't stop thinking about her.